Hello and welcome back to Mosaic Lego building. In this episode, we're gonna be unbuilding and rebuilding a previous set that I already own. I already have some ideas in what I want to talk about while I'm in the process of building, but I also have an issue that I will be able to talk about when I'm addressing this set in total. So, hopefully you're okay with a little bit of information as well. This is set number 9444. Otherwise known as Cole's Tread Assault, consisting of 286 pieces. Of those, there are Cole, Scales, and one singular dark blue serpent. The set was originally sold in 2011 at the price of $39.99. Now, the other thing that I wanted to talk about in the pre-building stage is, I don't know if this camera is correct. For some odd reason, everything that I used to record updated when I went to bed. Not only was it my laptop that I used for it, but also apparently Logitech released something, and then OBS, my recording software, all updated. And then when I open everything up today, my camera settings have all changed, and the way that I can change my settings is also different. And when I finally get everything the way that I think it should look, I start to second guess myself and feel as if the picture is actually a little bit zoomed in. So I'm sorry if something looks a little bit weird for right now. I'm still trying to figure out what I should do, how I should proceed. Hopefully when I get back to playing games and seeing how it affects my face cam, I'll see if the actual camera itself has changed at all. This is going to be the first recording with everything new, simply because everything updated the night before. And I'm very, very happy about that, as you can tell. Alright, and that's everything. Disassembled, at least. Now let's just bring out the characters easily as I can. So, starting off, obviously, with the hero, Cole. I'm just going to have him seated because that's eventually how he's going to end up in general. Cole is in his ZX form, much like all the other ninja that we've seen already. And he's technically supposed to be holding the Scythe of Quakes, but you'll see later, like, why I've allowed Scales to hold it. And that brings me right to the next notion of Scales. He is the first full snake, like, cobra head that we've seen with the cowl? Is that hood? I don't really know. He is holding the staff of the Hypnobrai, as you can see, and he is also the first, I don't remember the rank that it's supposed to be, but Scales is the first with the tail, and only the head of the Hypnobrai, of the Fangpire, of the Venomari, of the Constricti can have a tail. And then here's a snake, which is technically supposed to be underneath, like, the scout. Like, there's general, then first hand, and then brute, and then scout, and then these tiny little snakes, cobras. I guess this is technically one of the ranks, but Scales here, based off the show, technically just recently earned this tail and the rightful ownership as general. He'll be taking it over from someone who will be coming in, I think, the next set. Don't quote me on that, but yeah, that'll bring us right to it. The finer details on the main body, just to show it off real quick for both Scales and Cole real quick. There we go. Now let's get building, because I need to hurry up, because I've put this recording off for a very long time, and I'm running out of time, mainly because of the stupid update errors that I wasn't planning on having. So, first off, to let everybody know of when this was recorded, just recently, I don't want to say a week ago, maybe 5 days? I think it's just 5 days. I know it's not a full week. I'm kind of digging my own grave by just going in a roundabout way. Pokemon, on their own YouTube channel, they released a video showing off what's to come in their newest DLC, the Crown Tundra. it's cool, I guess. I mean, like, yeah, it's more stuff. But in the end, it's just kind of the same old stuff as what came in the last update. I'm not complaining. I still love the game, and I love the games, but I don't know if that was worth its own video. And it wasn't. Because not only did they release that, but alongside the information of that update and the DLC, they partnered up with a band named Bump of Chicken. And over the song Acacia, over Bump of Chicken's song Acacia, they released a music video called Gotcha that blew me away, and I think it really blew the entire Pokemon community away as well. I've seen nothing but huge, like, appraisal for the music video alone. Makes me really happy that they did that. It's a great music video, and I highly recommend that you watch it. I'm definitely going to be adding it as a link in the description of this video, just because if you haven't seen it already, it is worth a watch, whether or not you're a fan of Pokemon at all. It's 1000% a great video. I myself not only watched it a bunch of times on the original release of the video. I won't be linking that along with like the update. I'll be linking the full music video, only the music video from Bump of Chicken's YouTube channel. I can give a little bit of context as to why the music video is so cool. Not only beyond like it just being a really good music video. The song is great. The song has a good message. Everything that you see visually in it is just amazing. It's so nostalgic. It brings back so many memories of every single game. Not just like one or two, but every single game over the 20 plus years that they've been making the Pokemon games, and it's just so cool. Before I go on telling anything more about this, the instructions immediately break up the instructions to show what this thing does, so I'll show it off right now because instructions say to test it out. This thing is a gun. So I'm just gonna shoot it off just to test it, as the instructions say to do. Avoid shooting it in other people's eyes. But anyway, back to Pokemon and why I love the music video so much. The music video was created and animated by the studio Bones that makes a lot of the anime that a lot of people just seem to really enjoy. One such series is My Hero Academia. If you know that animation look, their style is kind of recognizable through that. It's not on the level of Studio Ghibli that everybody can immediately recognize, but it is most certainly just phenomenal. Then there's little hidden secrets of everything, and my personal favorite you have to kind of watch out for certain things, like in the background of like shadows and everything for like storyline stuff, but that's kind of just like in your face. The better parts are more so the Easter eggs that they put in the music video. One major one being the fact that the main girl in the music video, it kind of follows like the story of two new characters that we've never seen before. And the main girl, her prominent hairstyle is a huge set of hair and then two twin tails, but they're all like sectioned off into like little balls of hair that go down kind of like a line. I don't want to say like grapes. If you know what I mean when I say like wrapping a Christmas tree with like cranberries and popcorn, remove the popcorn, just the cranberries, like circle, line, circle, kind of like that sort of thing is what I'm trying to visualize. I can't think of what else to compare it to right now. Just that physical shape is what her hairstyle looks like. What's significant about it is that when the game's first released, for the very first commercial ever that aired, the spokesperson, the girl that was talking about it, had the exact same hairstyle. And it's such an obscure reference that only the Japanese audience would be able to recognize. And it's so cool to think that they've thought that far ahead. And I love that. Like, that's so fucking cool. And then there's the even bigger overarching one, which is also kind of in your face, but not as well known. If you ever played the first game, or maybe even Leaf Green, Fire Red, and I don't remember if it was in Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. I did play Let's Go Pikachu on the channel. I can link this playlist in the description as well. That's going to be underneath the music video, because I really want people to watch that. The very first thing that you see, well, not exactly the first thing, because like obviously they have to have like the Pokemon name show first, but the first thing that you see of characters is 4 boys walking down a set of train tracks. And it's also one of the last things that you see as well. When you leave your house for the first time, as in the game, you leave your mom at home, being 10 years old, starting your Pokemon journey. You leave your mom and she's watching what's on the TV, said to be 4 boys walking down a set of train tracks, much like the music video. If you don't know that reference or what it's from a movie called Stand By Me, and along with that movie, there's a song that goes right alongside with it that I actually love. Like, I just love the song itself. The week that the first Pokemon games ever released, so that would be Red and Green, I think, in Japan, but Red and Blue in America, and then Yellow comes later for both. The fact still remains, the week that those 2 games released, within a 5-day span, I can't remember the exact dates, Bump of Chicken, the band that they used the song from, and obviously they paid for the rights to use it, their first song that they ever played as a cover at, like, I think it was a bar, someone said, was Stand By Me. And it's so cool to think that both groups, not only Pokemon, but Bump of Chicken, were in like the same realm at the very beginning. And it's so cool, like, that both groups got to work on it together, on this huge project together. And if anybody's wondering about the name Bump of Chicken and like wondering why it's weird, it's kind of just like an unfortunate but kind of cute Japanglish or English mishap. What it really is the boys, I believe that there's 4 of them, thought that Bump was supposed to be counterattack and Chicken was supposed to be, where did that piece go? And they thought chicken was the word for weakness. So what they were trying to go for was counterattack the weakness or something like that, but they ended up with Bump of Chicken, which kind of is cool in a way. It's unique. I mean, nothing will ever blow my mind of a name as compared to, if you don't know the song Melissa, that's used as the main intro, the very first intro song of the very first anime iteration of Full Metal Alchemist. Melissa is sung by and played. The song came into existence by the group Porno Graffiti. Like, no other group name will ever blow my mind as much as that one. But I cannot say enough just to check out the music video. It is amazing. Now, I don't know if anybody who hasn't played any of the games or only some of the games, whether or not like you'll enjoy it as much, but overall I just think it's a really well made music video. And the fact that we get to see these 2 characters, and it's not just like the girl with a weird hairstyle, a unique hairstyle I should say, there's also like a main boy of the story, and like the overarching story of their story, because they also introduce like all the nostalgia in the middle of it. With their stories, what it is it shows them growing up with the girl an Eevee, the boy a Pikachu. Along the way, somewhere in the middle, they both come across the others. Like, the boy ends up finding the Eevee, and the girl ends up finding the Pikachu. Completely separate. And I don't know how much time passes from each other meeting and getting back their respective Pokemon. I genuinely think that those two characters would have a much better story and a better take. They seem older, and I kind of want, as much as I love like the whole new story that they've got going on with Ash and Go, I think I would love to see two new characters just come about, have their own story. Who knows, maybe meet Ash and Go or Ash and whoever along the way, join them, who knows. But I would love to see a more adult take on it. Now, that's not to be like nudes sort of shit. I just mean like the whole storyline of Pokemon has this sometimes dark story. I mean, anybody who's played Black and White, the Pokemon Black and White games, knows that that game story was significantly dark at times and is hailed as one of the best stories. If you just play it for Pokemon's sake, fine by me. I like everything. I like playing the games to play the game. I like the new Pokemon. I like the stories. I like the new gym leaders. Just a little bit of everything. I really just like Pokemon. That's about it. But I would just kind of like a more dark take on it. And what they did in their last season, or maybe the season right before that, not with Go, but with all of Sun and Moon, one character that I didn't watch the series just because, I mean, I didn't really have access to watch it. I heard about Malo, I think her name is. I'm sorry if I'm messing up anyone's names. She is a grass type user, I believe. And I think what they did, I'm sorry for laughing, but like it's more so just me trying to remember and me hoping that I'm not messing up in any way. I think what they did is that they made her mother become gravely ill. As a little girl, she couldn't face that fact that her mother was going to die. And I think they made like the whole episode or episodes, I don't know, about her coming to terms with it and kind of just apologizing because she said some like heinous thing and then left, and then her mother died shortly after, and her never seeing her mother again for like an extended amount of time. And that alone made me want to watch the entire series. I didn't never get to, just because again, no access. Actually, I wonder, because I know that Disney XD had access Pokemon Sun and Moon, but I don't know if that'd be on Disney Plus, because Disney Plus has access to the Marvel movies, and yet every single Spider-Man movie is not available on Disney Plus because of the rights issues with Sony, which I think is just the biggest fuck off. I think that there should be a shared utility with the rights. Anyone can stream any movie, but any view on that, and you can mark views on someone's account. It's not that hard. I mean, YouTube's done it for years. Mark the views of what movie was what, and then pay the respective, like, view count per contract thing from Sony to, what's it called? Disney Plus. Also, I just realized my lights have changed. I'm gonna check my camera real quick. I'm sorry if anything's changed. I apologize if any of the lighting has changed and it affects the quality of the video. Unfortunately, the one of my lights started to like sag a little bit. Like I've got them positioned here. Just imagine one of them started to do this. Oh yeah, just the adult take on that storyline of Pokemon. Oh yeah, that's right. I was talking about Disney Plus. I would love just a more adult take on Pokemon. Maybe showing that the boy's mother, let's say, goes through like a divorce or something, and the boy feels responsible to take care of his mother, and when he's felt that he's stuck, like say he's like 18. The main overarching story of Pokemon is that you leave when you're 10 on a journey for whatever reason. Say he just grabs his stuff and up and leaves. I think that's the right way to phrase that, up and leaves. So he's making sure that his mother's all situated and everything, and then he just gets fed up one day. Say that's like where the story begins, like him just running out the door with his stuff, like crying or something, and running like full tilt, and Pikachu's either in the bag or on top of him or snuck into the bag or something. Whether or not, let's say, like Ash is the father and he's left or something, like that'd be a different take that they could do, who knows. And then somewhere along the way he realizes that Pikachu is with him, because in the music video it shows that he's got like a love-hate relationship with the Pikachu, and like he chokes out the Eevee in one part almost. He rips it off of its head and just like hangs it in midair. When the two reconnect, Pikachu jumps on his face and he's like trying to rip it off of his face. Something else that they could do. And then he eventually meets this girl who, let's say, is an accomplished Pokemon trainer. Like she's maybe 4 or 5 badges deep, ends up finding his Pikachu, and he finds her Eevee just along the way. The two meet, the two exchange, they just start like a journey or something together, and he goes on to watch her compete in battles or whatever, and he just finds himself in her or something like that. Like it'd be a nice take on like the progression of, oh, our games are meant for all ages, but for those who've grown up alongside of our company and our games, here's one that's meant for you to find someone else, much like these two would in their story. Like I'd love to see that, just like him find like a meaning in this girl or something like that. And you can only, because there's always one new edition in the latest series of games from Pokemon. There's always like something new, whether it be Mega Evolutions or Z attacks or Gigantamax. It's something new every time. What I would love to see is like a partner evolution, or a partner move. Sorry, I couldn't figure out that word. I don't know why I was struggling with the word move, but just like a partner attack, something along the way. Like possibly the game can chart like who you spend the most time with, who you trade the most with, who you battle against the most with, and then like there's an option later where you would like to fuse the accounts or something like that. Did I say accounts or it fused the counts? I don't really remember actually. Like tag battles, you can introduce more stuff in. I would love to see that. And like from an anime perspective, say like near the end of the first season, the main girl is, I don't know, either at one of the championship battles and she's down to her last Pokemon, which is gonna be Eevee or something like that, and it's down near its final health, and the boys in the stands trying to root her on. Say she finally shows weakness, and that starts to rile up male character who has shown weakness through the entire story, so he feels he needs to protect her, and the entire time he's seen her as this amazing character who doesn't need help. It'd be such an amazing way to introduce does this fit? Did I do something wrong? Because this just barely doesn't fit. Oh no, it barely fits at all. Okay. Damn. It's a tight squeeze to say the least. And then you have to push this in here. Damn. That is perfectly fit to move into the next spot. I would love to see that within like first the last few moments, and like over the entire like first season, like they talk about whether or not he'd like to evolve Pikachu as much as Ash did, and against the electric type gym leader, whether he wanted Pikachu to become a Raichu, or whether the girl wants to evolve Eevee, whether it be into a Flareon, Vaporeon, Jolteon, Espeon, Umbreon, Leafeon, Glaceon, or Sylveon, or if at all. And by the end, she's decided that she has been with Eevee for so long that she feels as if it wouldn't be right to change it at all. And then with the boy's limited knowledge of Pokemon moves, he just yells out Eevee Thunderbolt or something like that. Eevee takes notice and lets out a huge Thunderbolt or something or other along that side, and like that raises a huge like mess in like the competitive scene where like say it is like the finals for the region, because there's only so many gyms, it doesn't have to be a long season. It's like the way in my mind it works out for not only an animation cop out, but also just like a storyline cop out, like just to shorten it up a little bit and make it more concise, more digestible for anybody who wants to join in. It won't have too many unnecessary episodes. Like, it just seems like such a good idea for them to do something like that. In the competitive scene, nobody has seen a Pokemon respond to another trainer in battle with everything else going on at the same time, or it's just a well-known fact in the Pokemon universe if that happens, and like the two just don't know it yet, obviously being like teens and preteens and whatever, like that's just not mentioned. Whether that would be a good way for the series to introduce new ways to fight, new ways to evolve. And one of my favorite evolutions by far that I could see them like expanding on that exact idea is the evolution for Carablast or Carablast. I'm sorry, I've been building it the wrong way this entire time. Whoops, I'm sorry. Carablast and Shelmet into Escavalier and Acelgor. Those two specific Pokemon have to be traded for the other to evolve. And I think that would be an amazing way to expand on the series. An actual account marriage trading or account marriage battling, something like that. Like, it just, not only do you need to get in contact with more people, because that would force more people like to join up, like what they wanted to do with Pokemon Go, as well as like exercise and stuff like that. But just out talking to more people. Obviously, that'd be a little bit different in today's standards with COVID. Again, unfortunately, that would diminish that. I just see it as something to grow on. Like, it, I don't know. I'm not a game developer, and I don't know how well that would work out. An idea that I had that I just thought was cool, and I genuinely would really like to see the two characters come back around. And it wouldn't really hurt too much to see a Bones animated Pokemon series. Again, where would that go? Because I don't know if Pokemon for that season would be available on Disney XD. Also, I still need to check out if Disney XD is even a thing on Disney Plus, even for me to watch Pokemon, or even if they would have the rights to, or if even I have the ability to watch it because of the rights issues and everything. Oh yeah, I should probably go over the whole thing that's been going on with my family and streaming stuff. So, everybody kind of knows by now of the streaming service known as Netflix, and all the anime that they have over there, if you're interested in that. Last time I talked about the cuties issue with Netflix. Now I and my family have a different issue that's kind of related to video streaming. It's not really a video streaming issue. It's what holds the rights to the video streaming. So, let's talk about all that there is. There's a lot more than I know that anyone could tell me about, but the main streaming sites that I know of are Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime Video. That right there, Amazon Prime Video. Not only do you need Amazon, but you need Amazon Prime, and then Amazon Prime, you can get free stuff, or you still have to pay, but you have access to Prime stuff where you need to pay. So it's a bit weird. The issue is that my mother has been a Amazon Prime member for, I want to say she said 12 years. And in those 12 years, we've gone through, she's gone through multiple cards, multiple iterations of that account just to fix any issues of like people stealing her identity when Amazon has had other mishaps. But as of right now, my mother and I, because technically what's being sent to her is more stuff geared toward me, is electronic stuff that nobody's ordered is being sent to our house via the mail in Amazon packages. And every time that an order is placed, she would get an email saying that an order has been placed. The first red flag was she had purchased a set of AirPods for herself, for my sister a while back, and I think maybe my sister had bought it, and I don't know if she got it at Walmart or Amazon. And then my mother, who bought another set just in case my sister lost hers, because she couldn't find it for the longest time, but my sister bought something else to help her find it, and it was like buried in a corner of her college dorm where it just like slipped in like the back of the bed, but even still, like she had to like wrap her hand around it because she can't move her bed or something. My mother bought another set of AirPods for that case for my sister. Lo and behold, my sister was able to get them back from behind the wall, or not from behind the wall, from behind her bed, and my mother just has it now. So that's where we thought it ended. Maybe 3 days after, my mom got an email saying that an order had been placed for a set of AirPods on Amazon. And that was a huge red flag for my mother because she thought that I had purchased it or something. So I get a call, actually I think in one of my recording sessions. I wouldn't know which one because I'm 4 months ahead, so there's so many that are just in the mix already. So she calls me, asks me what's going on. She calls my sister, and nobody knows. Nobody knows what's going on as to why that order was placed. And what's scary is that the order was placed under a card that wasn't ours, and it was being sent to Oregon, someplace in Oregon. Yeah, that's a big issue. How do I fix that exactly? Mr. Bezos, Mrs. Account helper, I'm trying to make sure I don't lose my identity. I'm trying to make sure I don't lose money in my bank account. Oh, sure. Yeah. Let's help you figure out what's going on. So, what's your home address? I'm sorry? Yeah, what's your home address? Here's my home address. Literally, like, my mother told this person over the phone her name, all the information for a regular account on, like, Google or YouTube or anything. Technically, Google owns YouTube, but whatever. And just standard email stuff. And then the person asked for the home address. My mother says the home address. Oh, that doesn't match. Goodbye. My mother tells the account person the exact home address that has been the account holder for 12 plus years, that all the purchase history has been going to for 12 plus years, and it's changed to the Oregon residence. So somebody went into the account, changed the address, and got us locked out of the account because they changed the password as well. And that's what my mother was trying to get access to, was the Amazon account, to stop all these orders from going through and make sure that we weren't losing money. Nothing could be done, per se, and somehow, in some way, we were able to reset the account, get access to it. We closed every single card on the account. We still have our bank accounts and all of our money. Nothing was touched from our accounts. We reset the address, and then we were still sent stuff. So my mother and I just said, you know what? I think it's about time that we close this. We don't want to risk anything. And then we're still getting stuff. Amazon Prime Video, the streaming, I don't know what it's like. The only thing that I ever really watched on there was the River Monsters. I only got to like episode 4, episode 5. Bit sad, but I'm okay with it, because at least we're not dealing with other issues. And now I have I'm putting that in quotes, have a microphone, a really shitty microphone, a really shitty USB plug-in microphone, something that goes around your arm for a hot sauna, then something that makes a PS4, PS3, and a Nintendo Switch controller wireless, but you have to plug it into the PS4, Nintendo, whatever, and then plug the controller into the thing that makes it wireless. So if you already have the wire to plug into this device, to plug into the thing, why does it exist, and what is it actually doing if it's supposed to make it wireless? That is the end of book 1, and unfortunately, I have run out of time, so I'm going to have to split this recording for myself. But yeah, hopefully I can finish when I come back and see what is happening with my phone, because I've been getting a few messages and a call that I did not get at all before waking up or while I was setting up this video. No, it's while I'm recording. I love that my luck is like that. So, won't be any different for you, but I'll come back around 2 hours later. I'll be right back. And I'm back from wherever I was. Doesn't concern you at all, but I just want to get back into building immediately. And while I was gone, I remembered the last item that has shown up to my residence, because normally I get mail before I come back to this room where I normally edit, record games, or record this. That's literally about it that I do back here. But normally from where I just was, I come back home and I pick up whatever mail has come for me or my family at this time. There was nothing today, but the item that came yesterday was a repair kit, and not just any repair kit, a repair kit for an iPhone 7. And most of the time, whenever I see repair kit, I think glass. It wasn't just that. No, it was not just repairing the screen of a phone. It was, in fact, repairing almost everything of the phone. included in the package was a screen and a battery. And I'm really terrified to have that in my house at all. The fact remains that I have replaced the glass on my phone that I have an iPhone 6 of, and replaced the sabotaged from Apple themselves battery. Both have been fine. They've shown deterioration, and I'm looking for a new phone, but that's besides the point. iPhone 7 repair kit in total. I believe my mother has an iPhone 10, but she had to get it because the place that we normally get our secondhand phones from, or not secondhand, second generation old phones. Like, I've got an iPhone 6. When my family bought that, the iPhone 7 was just about to go under to become the iPhone 8. And this thing has worked with me for so long that I don't want to, but it's definitely showing age. And then where we normally get it, completely denied my mother from getting any old generation, which I don't know why they would, but she couldn't get anything else, so now she has an iPhone 10 and I have an iPhone 6. My sister, I believe, got an iPhone 10 just because she wanted it, and I'll say forced my mother to get it for her. I think that they worked out an agreement for like a subscription repayment thing. I don't really know how it ever worked out, if anything actually did come from that, but oh well. Back to the original point at hand. Why were we sent an iPhone 7 repair kit with a battery that I'm pretty sure acts like thermite the moment it suffers a puncture wound? And for those who don't know what thermite is, imagine a sparkler, like little things that you light off for the 4th of July or just tiny little handheld fireworks. Imagine that 500 times the amount of sparks, and you're just about there. The sparks fly at an incredibly high rate, and they're extremely hot. That is what thermite does. I'm pretty sure this battery, once damaged, does that. Just acts like that. So I am not looking forward to having... I do not like having it in my house at all. Sorry if I'm not making any sense. I'm really trying to work fast because I'm expecting a family member to come home within the time that I was supposed to finish this, because what I wanted to do today was, technically I was supposed to record it yesterday. I overslept, ruined that time, so I decided that I was going to edit in the morning and then record at night. Editing in the morning took very short, as I knew it was going to. Recording at night, I was expecting to have someone home to watch over the dogs, make sure that they were fed. Nope, the moment they got home, they left. So that was really nice to know. So I didn't get to record yesterday, and this video I was supposed to record all of last week too. I'm just fucking lazy, so I'm holding that one against me. I'm being accountable for that one, but yesterday I was like, that one I can't, except for oversleeping. That's my bad. And then today took me about 2 hours to try and fix everything that updated. I even woke up on time to do it, which bugs the hell out of me. And things out of my control ruined that for me. So now I'm trying to cut the recording short, as you already know, and I'm trying to rush through this second set as fast as possible so I don't deal with barking dogs when my other family member comes home. Oh, sorry. I'm really struggling. The last topic that I really have in mind that I wanted to talk about. It's kind of short, so I don't know how long I'll be able to talk about it. Where is this last piece? Oh, right here. So, where I live, Western New York, I experience I experience all 4 seasons where I live, and it is not fun having to deal with a sweltering heat and then a freezing the sweltering heat of summer and then the freezing temperatures and black ice of winter. Cannot stand at all for the life of me. Having to put in an AC unit just to survive during the summer, and I cannot stand having to take it out just so we don't get a breeze in the middle of winter with all the cold air and snow and having to snow blow, and the snowblower blows snow into the room that we're in if the window is barely has a crack at all. I just really hate winter and summer. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk, but what this entire topic has to really deal with is having to take out that AC unit. So we have two, one for upstairs for my room as well as what was my sister's room, and then one on the main floor for the living room for everybody else. My mother's room, for some odd reason, doesn't get as hot, mainly because I think it's in the shade, whereas my room gets heated by the sunlight because of our black tiled roof, not tiled, shingled roof, black shingled roof. And then my sister gets all the hot air in the morning from the sun rising. Yeah, so that's all we have to deal with. Is it supposed to only do this? I thought, for some odd reason, I thought that it like stuck in place. Oh well, okay. Since we're nearing fall, actually we're in the middle of fall because it's October as of recording this. Because the temperature is falling, my mom and I decided to take out the AC units, and while we were taking out the first one, I unplugged the unit. As you do, because you don't want to try and move something that is plugged in, have an electric current flow through your body and kill you instantaneously for having an electric current run through your heart. Although some people actually can have currents run through their body and have no issues at all. They're very unique human beings, or they get struck by lightning and survive, but repercussions enact there. Electricity is a scary, scary thing, so don't fuck around with it, and that's what I was. However, this AC unit had it out for me. If it wanted to electrocute me while it was still plugged in, it would have, because I unplugged it, started taking out the AC unit, I took one step back. Obviously, as you're stepping back, you transfer all your weight to that one foot. I go and take my other foot off. I go and take my other foot to take a step to rotate, and what happens? All of my weight on the foot that I took back first lands on top of the plug standing up. So I've got a prong of the electric cable in my foot. Yep, with all of my weight plus the weight of a heavy AC unit on top of an electrical plug. These things are heavy-duty electrical plugs. Now, granted, I only got one of the plugs in my foot. Or should I say plugs? One of the nodes? One of the... I don't know. Just one of the things that goes into the wall. And that wasn't fun. That really hurt, in fact. To the point where it didn't insert itself and stick, but it inserted itself and just hurt a lot, because I don't think it ever broke tissue. It broke the skin, but in a very different way. So what happened is that when I stepped on it, instead of acting like a nail going into a piece of wood and just being forced in, what it did is it took all the weight of my foot and just kind of pushed it into a single point, and my skin never like pierced. What happened is all the pressure kind of just forced it and popped open. And I don't know what really happened, because I could see blood on the inside, and it did start to bleed for a while. I just put a band-aid on it so I could continue walking on it. But now I've got a big old blood blister somehow, and that bothers me more than actually stepping on it. It hurt in the moment. Like, it definitely fucking hurt, and it hurt to walk on it. But what annoys me now is that I've got this blood blister on the bottom of my foot that just feels like I've got a constant pebble in my shoe when I'm not even wearing socks. So imagine you've got a pebble somewhere in your shoe constantly. But it's in the same spot, but you can't remove it because it's just coagulated blood in one spot. That is your own body trying to repair itself. Hurt quite a bit. I now have a blood blister, and I'm pretty sure because all the blood there and probably some blood vessels burst as well. But because like I said, like it basically like popped open the skin and not like just ripped the skin. I'm pretty sure that it kind of just I'm pretty sure I'm gonna develop a bruise there, and not one that's big, but one that's gonna be, I think, deep. I don't know what to think about that. I've had blood blisters before, and they suck because one of the few that I've had, and I've only had a few in my life. I've had one on my finger, I think, that just took a few days to get rid of, and then one that developed because I dropped a belt on my toe, and the belt buckle is what hit my big toe, and it was right in front of where the nail starts to develop. So like looking on my fingernail, it landed right about here, and because of the way that your foot works, I guess it kind of just forced it out, and the blood blister just stayed along with it and grew along with the toenail. And the moment that it hit my the development of the toenail, it was really weird looking. What it actually ended up being was there was like a hole in my toenail. I couldn't see through it, but there was like almost like a chasm where the blood blister had formed, and it was like green and purple around it. Like, it didn't look disgusting, it just looked odd. Instead of having to wait just a few days for a blood blister to just disappear, I had to wait the months for that thing to just go through the entire process of being a toenail for me to cut it. And boy, was that annoying to see every single day and wait for it to disappear. So, I guess this is the point where I could probably just, like, open up discussion. What are some injuries that you've had since quarantine or anything has started? To anyone who currently is sick, you have my fullest sympathy. I'm sorry that you're going through anything like that. Anything that's minor, if anything minor has happened in the time of quarantine and health, safety, and everything, what's been going on? Have you broken a bone since roughly February and March? Have you, let's say, severed a toe? Hell, what's something else? Maybe you found someone. Maybe you've bested the odds of not seeing anybody and has actually found a relationship. Hell, that'd be kind of interesting. What's been going on in your guys' lives? I'm doing my stuff. Tell me about yours. I've been talking too much. I think it's apparent that I'm running out of stuff to talk about before the end. See, like, I don't know how these back ones are supposed to be positioned, unfortunately. Like, compared to these two, they look like they should be constantly down, but I think the booklet has them positioned slightly up, like one node or something. One notch, I mean. Oh, yes, I did. I built this one wrong, and that's why. Okay. Yeah, it is supposed to be all the way down. I just put it in the wrong spot. Silly me. I'm a silly, silly boy. And now we put on the giant ass wheels, in which there are two. No, because I was just about to say tiny, but I know that there are small tires for like the bikes and everything. I'm sorry, I'm not a car guy. I'm trying as I go along, I'm trying to remember like terms for parts of cars and everything. Hell, even the last game series that I just recorded for cars, if you don't watch the cars or the game series as well on the channel, I completely forgot what the word spoiler was. I knew the word that I was looking for, but I didn't know the specific word for it. I was trying to recall the actual word in the videos, and then the moment that I stopped recording that specific video, I remembered. Spoiler! That's the word. There we go. We load in the Boulder Cannon, which I think is what it's called, and we push the button in the back. Everything opens into battle mode, and the one feature that isn't actually in the series, but is genuinely kind of cool, is if we flip this over, it's technically supposed to be what I think is a incognito serpentine vehicle, like the Fangpire stuff. I think that's what it's meant to be for, but it doesn't really ever make a showcase in the actual show or the series. It's just a design choice. And with that, I can put Cole in here, in which the only way that he fits is by sitting down, angled. And if you notice, the cabin kind of spins 360 degrees, allowing Cole to just remain in there. And I can bring out the serpentine, whether it's the leader or the youngin'. Both of them are just gonna take a bullet to the face. Thanks and have a nice day.